We're bringing together property owners and RV owners as an alternative to overpriced, overcrowded campgrounds.
It's a new concept. What we do is if you are a property owner or an RV owner, we bring those two together for mutual benefit. Property owner has a little extra space on their property and want to maybe rent that out to an RVer that's coming to town, or whether you're close to a national park like here at Gettysburg, you can rent that space out and make a little extra income, and the RV owner gets closer to where they want to be.
The outdoor recreation industry has really grown over the past year, and I think that trend is going to continue. It's a great way to invite these new inventive ideas and really add to the already existing industry.
He was stationed at the Pentagon, and I decided I wanted to stay in Carlisle. So he bought a travel trailer and for 2 years lived in a campground in Stafford, Virginia, and I stayed in Carlisle. Every morning on his commute into the Pentagon, he would see driveways with RVs, and he'd say, "Why can't I do that? Why do I have to have a 1.5, 2 hour commute both ways into work?" And that's how UpClose-RV was born.
This kind of opportunity, as far as being able to, rent space at somebody else's property, it does really open up a whole new experience that people probably really haven't considered before. So the one great thing about the RV industry and the outdoor industry is that it is really growing and expanding and making room for new and inventive ideas.
It's a very interesting thing to do. It's company, and I have not met anybody that's not friendly. It's just very enjoyable. I'd recommend it to anybody.
Just before I retired, we started researching what was going on in the RV industry, if this was a viable option. And so found out that the campground industry is crowded, and prices were escalating commensurate with the hotel industry. And so that's not why people bought their RV, right? They bought their RV to travel, see the country, and not have to pay an arm and a leg to do that. So that was the genesis of what UpClose-RV is about. Our customers, from the RVing standpoint, the RVer is looking for economic place to stay, to get away from it all, to get away from the hustle and bustle, or to get closer to family, right? Sometimes when you're visiting family, the campgrounds are full or too far away or what have you. And so if there's a spot closer in town, they can find a spot that is more convenient for them.
As a homeschooling military family, my kids had opportunities where they were able to meet different people from different walks of life. Sometimes even different cultures. We lived in Hawaii for 3 years, and that was a great experience. We want UpClose-RV to offer opportunities to hosts and travelers in the same way, so people can meet different people from different walks of life.
I had a sister who was an RVer, so I'd set up a couple receptacles for her different rigs, so I had it there. So will this work? I sent them pictures. Of course it would work. And it's very simple. It's the side of my house, side of my garage, on a little patch of grass, and there's my neighbor's house right next door.
The industry is always looking for ways to grow. You might be spending the weekend at your kid's soccer tournament and looking for a place to stay. It's so nice to give other options for people to use this type of property. I mean, right up the street, we're up the street from Possum Lake. So, I mean, you can get there within walking distance, which you might not have the opportunity to do otherwise.
When we first started this concept, we were in 2 states. And then when I got mine, we were in 3 states. Now we're in 12 or 13 states. And I'm watching it expand. So we are coast to coast, we are national. When you see a success and you see happy customers, and that's probably the biggest thing. When a person calls back and said, I had a great time at Edna's house or at Dan's house, we had good interaction. That's a good thing. Interacting with people, if it can't be fun, it's not worth it.
We're looking at community, right? We're looking at creating a group of folks that see the benefit and creating friendships and fellowships that celebrate in the freedom of the great outdoors, if you will, right? The hosts we have are they're phenomenal. You've already got driveway space, you've already got backyard, you've already got side yard. So why can't you rent that space out to someone who's looking for space? It's about creating these associations and creating friendships that are gonna last.